Hi guys, it's Andy, the expedition hiker, and it's been a while. Been having a lot of physio, sports massages, I even had a Thai massage. That was a different story, although it seemed to jump on me quite a few times, as in like walking across my back. It was an experience that I don't really want to try again. And with that, what we're doing today, but we're going to go past an old palace. We're going to go past some apes, or something to do with apes, and eventually we'll end off to an old abbey. So it's a bit of a linear route, this one. We're in the North of Nottinghamshire. So with that, let's get going. So today we are starting North Nottinghamshire, near Mansfield, a place called Clipstone. From Clipstone, we're heading over to a woodland, part of the Sherwood Forest. From there, we're going to go past where the apes like to swing. We're also going past a disc golf course, which we might get a chance to have a fling with an old frisbee. After that, we're going up to King John's Palace, or the remains of. Then we're going to head back into the woodlands of the Sherwood Forest, or Sherwood Pines, I believe it's called. Oh, along the way, we're also going to pick up on the Robin Hood Way, passing I think it's called Centre Parcs, and then we'll head over to Rufford Abbey, which is again remains, and then we'll head back towards the main road, which is where we'll get transport back home. So the weather's a little bit different to what I expected. According to the weather forecast, it's going to be -2 today and raining constantly. At the moment it is quite cool, but it's quite a blue sky. Let's hope out that it doesn't rain later. Anyway, we're back, as I said, and hopefully we're going to get back out walking a little bit more regular now. And also the thing is the editing. So while I've done my back in, I haven't been able to do much walking at all, carrying a rucksack or anything. I even tried going out on a little camp, local, staying on a campsite, but my back was in pieces by the morning. So I'm still holding out on the camping side, but hoping to do that in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, going out and do some day walks. I've got some kit that I want to try out, a couple of reviews I want to do actually on a couple of tents. Now, I've worked out that to get on this YouTube program, I need 1,000 subscribers and something like 4,000 minutes or hours of view time. I think I'm a bit short on the view times, but I have seen that while I've been off, still people are looking at my videos, which is good, and hopefully we'll gather up a few more soon. But 1,000 subscribers is great. Now, as I said, today, well, we're heading towards a palace. But long before we get that, we're going into a forest, and we're going past where the apes like to swing, and then we're heading on towards a abbey, an old remains of an abbey. So it's a bit of a linear route today. I think it's about 10 miles we're going to do, possibly a little bit longer. We'll see how we get on. Back's not feeling too bad at the moment. I've got a heat pad on it at the moment. So thanks for joining me and returning to see some of my videos. So hopefully we're back on the mend, and we'll be back out doing some more videos, possibly some long distance routes as well. Well, as the sign says, due to high winds, we strongly advise staying away from the wooded areas. Bit of a problem because I'm heading to a forest, but hopefully not so windy as it has been the last few days. The amount of storms we've had recently, and my mum said stay away from the floodwaters, so we've headed up north away from the rivers. The problem is we've got woodlands instead, which winds are making the trees collapse. But you can't have everything. What's a walkway? That's a challenge. The area we're walking on now is a narrow bridleway and a cycle path, I believe. Now, to the left, plenty of gorse bush starting to blossom as well. But I believe this actual site used to be part of Clipstone Colliery, and it's now a country park, and the hill was just about to see in front. That must be an old slag heap with the old spent coal, which wasn't good enough. The bad coal used to go the bits of coal that weren't usable. Land like this, the ground underneath is unstable. It's not best to try and build on it. So a lot of these places now, the old mines have become country parks. So right, we can see, a bit breezy, but we can see Sherwood Forest, and that's where we're heading to. Well, via this path. Well, that's something I didn't expect. So these are the two colliery winding shafts. They would carry the bucket, I believe, is what the men used to sit in. But, well, not a single bucket, more like a cage. I presume you probably get about 16 miners in each one, and they would go all the way down to the mine. I presume the other one was to bring the coal back up. Must have been a very big, productive pit at its time. Obviously all long gone now. Back in the 80s, most of the collieries went in this area, Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire, due to a certain lady. Well, not just the lady, but she helped to push it away, Margaret Thatcher. It's nice to see a relic still standing. Bit of history there. Anyway, we're going to head down towards the woodlands now. This is the old track that would have led up to Clipstone Colliery. Now, I think it's a cycle path. You can see here they're replanting trees. So obviously all these little areas that we can see around this pines, the well-established pines, are actually regrown. So in a few years' time, this will be all filled up again. As we head through the woods, I'm actually always looking for a piece of woodland of my own, piece to purchase. But it's not that easy to go looking for a piece of woodland, and they don't come up that often, and when they do, they're not usually in the area that I want to go. So it may be a distant dream, but I'd like to buy some woodland at some point. I'd just like to get out in the woodlands, have my own bit of land where I can camp, do a bit of bushcrafting and get out in the wood and make a shelter and bits and bobs like that. And I've seen some of these other YouTube channels that do it. I'm thinking, well, maybe I should get out and do it myself. Maybe not for a YouTube channel, but maybe just for my own pleasure. Just come across a gentleman, and he told me that there's a World War I exhibit here. And I thought, well, interesting to know what that might be. And it's actually some trenches. They've dug some trenches out and made it to look like World War I. And it's free to enter. So we're going to pop down to there and have a look. So that's an added extra to this walk. Well, I decided to have a whole round of disc golf, and it's the first time I've played in about 3 years. It's only 9 holes, but actually, funny enough, got my best score ever on any course. I actually got, what was it, 6 under at the end, which obviously, other sod's law, nobody was watching me to see that that was the accreditable score. But well, I filmed a couple of the holes, and and I finished off the last one with a 2, and you can see the putt I did as well. So anyway, we're heading on. Here's one for Boys in the Wood. He's making his own little bushcraft shelter. I think he's up to episode 9 by now. Looks like the witches have been here. Right, next we are going to try and find trenches, which I believe is somewhere around here. So actually turned out to be a nice walk. The only problem was that I played that disc golf in the snow. As soon as I finished the last hole, it's sunny again. So this is the route to the trenches. Where may they be? We've arrived at the trenches, and problem being is it seems my microphone has gone again, so I need to order a new one. So we're going to have to go off the camera again. So day in the life of a frontline Tommy. Anyway, it says to go this way, so let's go that way and see what the Tommy says. So stand to, soldier. There's a thing we can look in here. Oh, and look, we can see the trenches. So let's get down into the trenches. Lots of information here. It's worthwhile coming to see this exhibition. It's actually worthwhile to come to Sherwood Forest. I didn't realise there's so much to do here. You can see the trenches, how they've been dug out and everything else. Now, I do know, training up for World War II, so the Sherwood Foresters used to come around this area and do the training for trench warfare. Now, I'm not sure if these trenches have been made just for this exhibition, or they're actually part of the ones that the Sherwood Foresters used around pre-World War II. So when the soldiers were in basic, so a few foxholes here. They look like more like the type of dig-outs we used to do in the army. Yeah, every soldier in basic training has to learn how to dig a trench. Anyway, I think this is the entrance way. So there it is indeed. Take a look together. See, well, I'm quite tall, so I would have had to duck, otherwise I would have had my head shot off. There's camo nets everywhere. Oh, and we can have a look down this way. More trenches down that way. We can't go down there. We'll wander back out this way. And actually that was it. I was expecting a little bit more. Well, there you go, trenches. So yeah, little exhibition, but if you're ever up in Sherwood Pines area, it's worth coming and having a look at this as well. On our right we have, well, I believe it's called Sherwood Forest Centre Parcs, but looking at the fencing, it's razor wire, signs of warning, razor wire. I don't know if they're trying to keep them in or keep everybody out. It looks like harder to get into here than Buckingham Palace. Crikey. Anyway, we're still heading this way. We walk along this path alongside the Centre Parcs, and hopefully we'll come to a road. Once we cross that road, we're heading to Rufford Abbey. Well, hopefully you're enjoying this one. So my first time out for a while. And, well, I am actually. I've found more on it than I thought I was going to. The disc golf and the trenches. And looking at Centre Parcs on my right hand side, the little huts, and the razor wire. This path's a little bit boring, but obviously from one place you get to another. But it's nice enough anyway. You know, it'd be great if you add a like to this video as well. You never know, that haunted house visit will be coming up soon. I found out the actual #1 place in England for haunted is actually a graveyard. Although I'm going to probably visit that graveyard, I'm not intending to sleep in it because I respect the dead. I'm not going to put my tent up in the middle of a graveyard, but I think I might visit it in the dead of night for a couple of hours by myself. What could go wrong? So what I'm going to do as an alternative, I think I'm looking for possibly a haunted hotel. We'll see where we can go for our haunted house. That video will be coming up soon. So please subscribe, please like, please add a comment, please share, and please tell all your mates to watch my channel if you want to see me in that haunted house. So as you may have noticed, the last footpath sign that we went past, we're actually on the Robin Hood Way now, and we're heading on towards Rufford Abbey, which we're coming to a busy road, an A road, and I'm going to cross that. Hopefully that will take us into the estate of Rufford Abbey and its remains. So this is Manor Farm, presumably the manor to the Abbey back in the day. Now we're going to continue this way. Hopefully we'll reach the Abbey itself, or what remains. So we've reached Rufford Abbey, and here in front is the old stable block. If we pan around, you can actually see the remains to the Abbey. Now, I was actually quite surprised. When I thought it said about the Rufford Abbey remains, I was expecting just some footings in the ground. Not all this. In fact, it's only about 50% of it still remains. It's really not just the roof is missing. Well, there you go. Ghosts of Rufford Abbey. Maybe this is the place to sleep. Rufford, with its long involved history, would not be complete without tales of a darker, mysterious nature. There's the Black Monk, a ghostly baby who used to cuddle up to lady guests, a recorded death of an unfortunate man who died after seeing the Rufford ghost, and the Rufford White Lady, often seen in Rufford Park. This is the Lady Arbella Stewart, whose parents were secretly married at Rufford in 1574. She tragically ended her days in the Tower of London. The Abbey has a widespread reputation for being haunted over the years. Stories abound from the local people who claim to have seen the little old lady in black and the white lady gliding through the trees. More recently, there's been a great alarm when a guest at the house described the appearance of a gigantic monk with a fleshless skull under his cowl. Let's see if we can find some ghouls. Saying that, I just looked in the window and it looked like there was a black figure in there. I think it was a coat hanging up. There's nothing down here to see, is there? Rufford Abbey was founded in 1146 by Gilbert de Gant, Earl of Lincoln, who died in 1156. It was acquired by the Talbots, Earl of Shrewsbury, following the dissolution in 1536, and incorporated into a house. Acquired by the Savile family in 1626. It remained in their ownership until the mid-20th century. It was partially demolished in 1956, but the medieval part of the building and the adjacent kitchen wing were preserved. In December 1886, 7 bells and 16 cases of ancient Roman antiques arrived in Nottingham, a gift from the excavations at Nemi, south of Rome, carried out by Sir John Savile, Her Majesty's ambassador at Rome, who became first Baron Savile of the family estate here at Rufford Abbey. The site at Nemi was the great temple of Diana, and many of the terracotta stone and bronze pottery artifacts found there would seem to indicate she was a goddess of healing of women and childbirth. So we've reached our final point for today. So with this, hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Hopefully you'll like to see more of these videos, and hopefully I'm going to be able to put more out for you. So until next time, if you haven't subscribed, please do add a comment and click the like, and I'll see you soon. So take care, look after yourselves. Bye bye hikers.